Welcome and good afternoon. My name is Kamish Orr, and it seems only fitting that on the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, I have reached 100 subscribers. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you to all of you who are subscribing. Those of you who are watching and haven't subscribed, I appreciate you watching as well. Hopefully, I will put out enough good content that you will consider subscribing. But again, thought it was fitting that I should reach that milestone right around Thanksgiving here. Um, I thought I'd also just let you know what some of my plans are for the future of this channel and future videos that you can expect, so that you could be prepared for that. And maybe if this is your first time seeing me, I don't know why you would have randomly come across this video because the YouTube algorithm probably isn't going to push this out too much. But in any event, if you watch this video, you would have a reason to subscribe or just keep tabs on this for future content. Um, as you know, if you watched my other video about my journey, my tabletop baseball journey, I have decades of experience in this area. I've been playing tabletop baseball games for a vast majority of my life now, since I was like 10 maybe. So 40 years, close to 40 years of tabletop baseball playing. Online baseball games, I've tried all of them as well, and run leagues and that kind of thing. And so that's kind of what made me interested in starting a channel. I have experience at YouTube as well. I have another channel that's completely unrelated to baseball. I started a music reaction channel. I think it's just SJ Orr if you want to check that out, for completely different content. But that really, even though I'm kind of slowing down on that channel a little bit, it really gave me the background and knowledge on being able to edit YouTube videos, upload and that whole system. So I got a lot of experience in the past couple of years just doing that. So that kind of set me up to want to create a channel focused on another big hobby of mine, which is the tabletop baseball. So that's just a little bit of background. What you can expect in the future, I have a couple of things planned. Of course, I have my payoff pitch baseball Pops League going on right now. I'm about a little over a quarter of the way through the season with that, and you can check out the videos on that if you want to get some more background on it. I've had a lot of fun just watching Hall of Fame teams in each league compete against non-Hall of Famers, a team of non-Hall of Famers, and that kind of thing. But just seeing how teams of Hall of Famers compete against each other as well. I know payoff pitch really wasn't designed for this kind of test case, but I thought I wanted to check it out anyway, and so far it's been pretty interesting. So I'm going to continue to put out content about that. I know there are a lot of other YouTubers in the tabletop sports area who will basically have YouTube videos where they live play of games, if you will, or playing out their games. And I really didn't want to try to do that with all of the games I played. I could have. It would have been fairly easy to do that, but I wanted to make things a little different and actually focus on putting out different kinds of content. So in the beginning of the channel, you may have noticed I experimented with some different things, game recaps, day recaps, that kind of thing. And I may do some of that in the future. Lately, I've been doing more like picking out interesting stories from around the league, but not really focusing on individual games as much anymore. I do a game write-up on each game, like a paragraph about what happened in that game. And I post that to my website, baseballmaelstrom.com. So go check that out if you are curious about that. So I plan on continuing to do something like that. However, that being said, I do plan on having an all-star break coming up at the halfway point of the season, which will still be a couple of months probably away. And for that, I thought it'd be kind of cool if I put it out there for voting. So assuming there's enough interest, I will likely put out some kind of ballot for the all-star teams. Now, there's only 4 teams in the American League and 4 teams in the National League, so the um, it's already a small group of players in the league to begin with. But that being said, I think it'll give a chance for the American League and National League to compete against one another. There is no interleague play in my league, so I thought it'd be interesting to see that anyway. So, in advance of that, I'll probably put out some kind of ballot. I don't know how much interest it'll get or how many votes it'll get, um, but just to put it out there and see, have people be able to vote on the All Stars, and that game I may play out um, live, or I may record myself playing the All Star game, just so that you kind of get a sense of what these games have been like a little bit. So I probably do that. In addition, I do plan on having a World Series, of course, at the end of the season. And when it gets to the playoffs in the World Series, I probably will also do some of that, either live stream me playing the games, or showing some, recording myself playing the games to upload. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely keep watching, because that will be coming. I guess let me know in the comments what your preference is. As I said, I know there are already a lot of streamers out there that upload themselves playing various tabletop games, and so I don't know if it's necessarily a value add to have one more person doing that, or maybe you just enjoy seeing the games played out in different game systems and that kind of thing, different tabletop games and that kind of thing. So let me know in the comments what you're interested in. Maybe it'll get to the point where I'll play, once every couple of weeks. I'll play a game. I'll pick out a game of the week, if you will, or something like that, and play it out for you to see. But definitely going to do that with the All Star game and the playoffs, at least some of the playoff games, if not all of them. Probably all the World Series. I'll probably do that, just so people can kind of see it. My grand idea at the start of this channel was that there'd be enough subscribers and such, enough people interested, that I was trying to think, man, if I know that there are Patreons out there for different tabletop YouTube streamers and that kind of thing, and what I thought about doing to set mine apart was allowing patrons at certain levels be able to like set lineups, or manage a team and that kind of thing. Not pitch by at bat by at bat, or plate appearance by plate appearance, but like being the general manager of the team and like setting lineups and that kind of thing. I thought about doing that. I haven't got to that point yet. I don't know that there's enough interest to do that, but again, if that's something that you think would be interesting, let me know in the comments about that as well. The other thing that's a little different with my channel is that I know a lot of the successful YouTubers are playing multiple different games. Um, so they'll play a payoff pitch game, they'll play ATBA, they'll play Stratomatic, they'll play whatever. And they may have different projects going on, but they kind of mix it up a little bit with the games. And I really just wanted to focus on one league at a time, if that makes sense, which I know is not as interesting to watch, because it's always going to be payoff pitch in this league's case. But that being said, I do have other plans for other tabletop games, and doing more tournament stuff rather than season stuff like I'm doing now. This was just kind of my first concept. The second concept is doing a triple elimination tournament with franchise teams. And so you can expect that will be coming up. Again, it'll probably be a while, because I probably will finish the Payoff Pitch League before I do that. Likewise, I may have a second season of the Payoff Pitch League where I switch team rosters up, kind of redraft them, if you will, um, to get a different mix of players, because I think that would be interesting as well. But in addition to just the regular tabletop stuff, I've also put out content just focused on what I'll say are kind of some questions of the hobby in general. So, pitcher rest, setting lineups. I've had videos on each of those that have seemed to get a lot of interest, more people interested in taking a look, because they're more like higher level concepts rather than like in the weeds game by game stuff, if that makes sense. But they're like conceptually, how do you go about setting a lineup? When do you rest players? How do you determine pitcher rest? That kind of thing. So kind of along those lines, I do have another series of videos coming up planned probably in the next few weeks. I'll start that. And that is, I've seen a lot of question about the frequency of specific plays or putouts and that kind of stuff. So, for example, I've seen a lot of question about, like, well, how often does a second baseman, if there are men on first and second, how often does a ball hit the second baseman? Does he throw all the way over to third for the lead runner, as opposed to trying to turn two or whatever? So I've seen the question out there. It's not as easy as you would think to find that data. However, Retro Sheet does have where you can download the game data, and so that's what I plan on doing. I've already done that. I just need to kind of filter through it, but I plan on having some videos around putouts and assists, frequency and data. So ground outs to certain positions with certain different men on base. How often does that fielder throw to a particular base or take a particular put out? So I thought that would be interesting for people to see. Again, it's a question that comes up in tabletop in general, but I thought it would be interesting to see real life. In real life, what's the breakdown? How often does the second baseman throw for the force or get the force out at second base, thrown to the shortstop with less than 2 out, or how often does he just throw to first for that runner? Does he ever throw to third? That kind of thing. So I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at that. Likewise with how often do base runners tag up on flyouts? How often do they tag up from first on a flyout? How often do they tag up from second? How often do they tag up? How often is there a sac fly? That kind of thing. I thought that'd be interesting too, to see where do the outfield assists take place. How often do runners get thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double? These are the kinds of things I think that people think about, wonder about. They have probably a good idea in their heads of what the answers are, but I want to actually look at the data to see what the real answers are to these questions. So that's another series that I plan to do. Again, let me know in the comments if that sounds interesting to you. If there's specific things that you're looking for that you want to find out about. I know the one that came up was how often does if a ball's hit to short and there are runners on first and second, how often does a shortstop throw for the lead runner at third base, for example, as opposed to taking the easier out at second? So those are the kinds of things I want to look at. So I just wanted to say again in this video, thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed. I appreciate it. I know I don't put out content as frequently as some of the other tabletop channels that are putting out content either daily or multiple times a day. I'm not going to be at that rate. I'll still be putting out videos as they come up and as topics interest me and that kind of thing. So usually about weekly, roughly. Sometimes it may be more frequent than that, depending. But thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments, as I said, if any of that sounds interesting to you, if there's something you're looking forward to, if there's another topic you'd like to see me kind of delve into or share my thoughts on. I'm always looking for topic ideas like that as well. And that, I think, is where I'll leave things. Head over to baseballmaelstrom.com if you want to follow the action in my current league that I'm doing right now. Hope you have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and until next time, have a great evening.